Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. If you're coming on, please hit that like button, hit that share button, tag Lolly Dolly, everybody. Let them know Prophet Ramon and the Ramon Preston Show. We are about to go live. We are live, but we're about to start the show in just a few moments. So if you're coming on, please do me a favor, hit that like button, hit that share button, and tag somebody and let them know. Did I say hit that live button? Hit the like button. Man, I'm struggling this morning, ain't it? Wow. Woo-woo. Come on, somebody. Right? If you're coming on, please hit the like button. Hit the share button and tag somebody and let them know we are live. We are live. We are live, ladies and gentlemen. This is the day that the Lord has made. We're going to rejoice and be glad in it. Today is Wednesday, and I'm super excited. Welcome to the Ramon Preston Show. For those of you that don't know, now you need to know. I'm Ramon Preston. I'm the host of the Ramon Preston Show. We come to you live every Monday through Friday at 12 o'clock noon, bringing you information, inspiration, motivation, activation, revelation, and just data that is relative to biblical economics. We use this platform to teach you, our family members and friends, our tribe, our community. We use this platform to teach you the things that we believe are essential for you to start, structure, and scale your businesses, your ministries, your income streams, and even your wealth building dreams. And all of the information that we share on this show is directly connected to, and it's actually an extension of our organization, whether it's through our consulting firm, our coaching program, our online university, or our ministry network. We're giving the information that we use on a daily basis through our organizational enterprise. So welcome to the Ramon Preston Show. This week we've been using a theme for this series. Every day this week we've been talking about the 25 rules of business. The 25 rules of business. And so Monday I gave you the first 5 of the 25 rules, 1 through 5, correctly? Mm-hmm. Then yesterday I gave you 6 through 10. 6 through 10. All right, so today I'm going to give you 11 through 15. 11 through 15. I know I'm going to be mixing up my words today because my mind is somewhere else. I'm so tied up. I was on the phone for like an hour and a half in here. So my mind is somewhere else. I got so many things going on. But I'm here. I'm live. We right here, y'all, in these Buckhead streets. And so today we're going to continue this series on the 25 rules of business. But today I'm going to be giving you rule 11 through rule 15. Every day this week, I'm giving you 5 of the 25 rules of business. This is actually a perfect way to prepare for our business coaching mastermind this upcoming Saturday right here in our Buckhead headquarters. So thank all of you for being a part of the show. Thank all of you for your comments, your feedbacks, for your questions, and just for participating in what God has called us and assigned us to do, particularly in this season, to bring economic breakthrough and deliverance to his people. So we've already talked about the first 10 rules of business. Monday, I gave you the first 5. Yesterday, I gave you the second 5. And today, we're going to be talking about the next 5 rules of business, Rule 11 through Rule 15. So if you're ready, I want you to get a pen, a pencil, a notepad, get another device, hit the like button, hit the share button, tag somebody, let them know Prophet Ramon is about to give me.
You forgot your name?
Yeah, I done forgot my name and all. Prophet Ramon is about to give me the next 5 rules. I'm telling you, my mind is somewhere else today. I'm telling you, I'm on a hunt right now. I'm on a hunt. I got some big, when here's what it is. When you got something big on the horizon and you know it's a big deal, like yesterday we had, was that yesterday? We had the conference call.
Yeah.
This is probably going to go down in history as one of the biggest deals we've had since we started our company. So that was a big deal yesterday. I took it lightly. I didn't really think about the magnitude of how big the deal was until I got that other email from Toretta, and I started reading it and started doing some research, and I'm like, this is a really big, this is a big deal. There's no way around it that this is a big deal. This is a real big deal. So anyway, I can't spill the beans. I can't give y'all all the details of what we're working on. Just know that we're working on some big things, and I don't be saying that to cap. I'm saying that because I know we're working on some big things. So today I'm gonna give you 5 more of the 25 rules of business. Please drop in the comments what city you're watching from. I want you to represent your city, your state, your country. I don't know, you might be on another planet. Just in case you with Elon Musk and the Martians on Mars, let us know where you're watching the show from. Give us some feedback. Let your boy know you appreciate the value that we're bringing every day, Monday through Friday at 12 o'clock noon. Drop the city that you're watching from in the comments so that other family members, friends, tribe members that come on can see where you're watching from. Shout out to all of our Facebook family. Shout out to all of our YouTube family. YouTube, y'all killing it. Y'all killing it. We're on our way to 4,000 subscribers. That's a big deal for us. We're on our way to 4,000 subscribers. We have so many people that are already participating in our Blueprint game plan that have come directly from YouTube. We have people that's participating in our 1-year coaching program that came directly from YouTube. We have people that are all in our ecosystem. They're part of our network. They're part of our business and just everything that we're doing. And a lot of you have come from these social media platforms. So I have to express my love and appreciation to all of you for what you do to make this happen. So please drop the name of the city in the comments. And if you have any questions throughout the course of this show, feel free to drop the questions. Did I say, what did I say?
You said it right.
Oh, okay, I said it right. All right, if you have any questions, drop your questions in the comments, okay? Or you can dial 678-922-1963 extension 1. That number is in the comments. You can either drop your question in the comments or you can dial 678-922-1963 extension 1 and your call will come directly to my cell phone. It will be routed to my phone and I'll answer it while we're on the live and I'll take a shot at answering your question. All right. So the next 5 rules of the 25 rules of business are rules 11 through 15. All right. Here is rule 11. Here's rule 11. Are you ready for this? You might want to write this down. Rule 11, my 11th rule of business is separate yourself personally from your business professionally. Separate yourself personally from your business professionally. This is my 11th rule of business. You got to do this. You got to separate yourself personally from your business professionally. I'm going to say it one more again before I explain it. Separate yourself personally from your business professionally. Now, what do you mean by that? Let me help you understand it, okay? All right, I have to be able to separate myself as a person, my personal preferences, my personal likes and dislikes, my personal agenda. I've got to be able to separate myself personally from my business professionally. Now, of course, financially, you want to separate yourself, right? So that means you don't want to be basically living personally out of your business bank account. You want to separate your finances. You want to make sure that you understand what is personal and what is business or professional. That's going to be very important. So I think we understand that from a financial perspective. You shouldn't be mixing and mingling your bank accounts. In other words, if somebody pays you for a service or for a product, and you sell it to them, you shouldn't just take that money and put it in your pocket, because that was a business transaction. You've got to develop the habit to put that money you just made into your bank account. I tell entrepreneurs this all the time. Entrepreneurs that I talk to, and they say, well, I make money on the side, but I don't never put that money in my business account. So what are you doing with the money? Well, I just make the $20, I just make the $50, I just make the $300, and I just put it in my pocket or put it in my personal bank account, and then I just use whatever I need to use for my business. You're doing business wrong. That is not a rule of business. A rule of business is for you to separate yourself personally from your business professionally. So from a financial perspective, it makes sense for you to make sure that anytime there is a business transaction taking place, all right, by you, that you separate yourself personally from that business transaction. If your business makes $50, give your business $50. Stop spending $30 on your way back to the house and then acting like your business made $20. Your business made $50. You took $30 because you have not separated yourself personally from your business professionally. This is one of the reasons why your business is going to fail. Because if you're not separating this stuff, okay, let's say if you giving your business money personally, well, I finance my business. I'm the one paying all the stuff for my business to get started. Well, give your business a loan. Be professional about it, and make sure that if you have a certain amount of money that you got to give your business every week or every month, you separate that. And you draft up some type of paperwork, or you put it in your accounting system that I just loaned my business $500, and my business needs to operate on this $500 to grow and to be efficient. And then when the business is in a position to reimburse you, the business can reimburse you that money. You got to separate yourself. People who do not separate themselves personally from their business professionally are called shade tree business owners. They're shabby, they're shade tree, they're irresponsible, and they not going nowhere fast. I want you to be a very integral, reputable business owner. I want you to be legit. And the way you do that is to separate yourself. Now, we understand the separation financially, but there are some other ways you can separate yourself personally from your business professionally. Another way is operationally. Now, this is very important. Operationally, how do you separate yourself personally from your business professionally when it comes to the operations? Well, you should treat your business like you would treat a job. I say this to my team all the time, that I come in here every day and I have a role and a responsibility as the CEO of this company. And I treat my role and my responsibility, or my position as a CEO, as if a company hired me to be the CEO. I don't come in here just tripping and acting goofy and just, like playing around like this my business, this my little gig. No, dog, boo. This is a company. And I am assuming the role and the responsibility and the position as the CEO, and I need to do my job as a CEO. So that means if there are other jobs or duties or responsibilities or roles that I have to play, they come after or in addition to my position as the CEO. So a lot of times, especially in our business, I'll play the role of a salesperson. I don't mind getting on the phone selling. I don't mind being a consultant. I don't mind being a coach. I don't mind being an assistant. I don't mind serving in any capacity within my business. However, I'm not going to do all these things and forget that I actually have a role as a CEO of this company. So just because the name of this company is Ramon Preston's doesn't necessarily mean that I reserve the right, or I don't give myself the right to not do my job. Because if I don't do my job as the CEO, I can't be around here pointing fingers and blaming. So this is another way you separate yourself personally from your business professionally. If you own a business, all right, and you calling yourself, especially people I see it all the time. Business owners, entrepreneurs, they start businesses, and the first thing, they can't wait to get some cards to put CEO on that card. They just love to tell everybody, I'm a CEO. Here's the problem. Do you know what a CEO is? A CEO is a chief executive officer. A chief executive officer. A CEO has a certain job description. A CEO has certain duties and responsibilities to run the day-to-day operations of a company. That's what their chief executive officer's position is requiring them to do. So guess what? There are certain things that have to be done as the CEO. You need to familiarize yourself with those things. And when you do, you need to treat your business like it is a separate entity. And if you're the CEO of that business, you need to act as if that company hired you to be a CEO. Because if a company called you today and said, we're going to hire you to be the CEO of our firm, of our business, and we're going to pay you $200,000 a year. First of all, if you ain't making $200,000 a year right now in your business, you'll probably take the job just because you want to make them 200 grand, right? But here's the thing. If they handed you a stack of papers and said, well, here are the job descriptions and duties of your role as the CEO. You have to show up every day. You're on a salary. You don't work 40 hours a week. Some weeks is 60 or 70 hours a week. These are the things that you have to do. You have to lead all the other executives. You got to make sure everything is, all these descriptions and duties. Guess what's going to happen? You're going to clock in and show up tomorrow. But why not do that for your own business? Because you have not separated yourself personally from your business professionally. So you could wake up in the morning and be like, man, I ain't going in till like 4 today. Yeah, I ain't gonna do nothing today. I'm gonna just call them and tell them we'll reschedule it. This is why your business is not succeeding. This is why entrepreneurs fail. This is why surveys and studies and statistics all across the board show that 9 out of 10 businesses fail within the first 1 to 3 years. Think about that. 9 out of 10 businesses fail within the first 1 to 3 years. Some of the reasons why they fail is because they don't separate themselves personally from their businesses professionally. So even though I own this business, even though I can do what I want to do with this business, I can start it and stop it how I please. I can shut it down. I can scale it up. I can relocate. I can change the name. I can do what I want to do because it's my business. But guess what? I don't treat it like that. I treat it like an entity, an organization, a company that has hired me as the CEO. And I have a responsibility to be the leader. I have the responsibility to set the example, to set the standard, to set the pace, to live by the core values and the principles and the views and the practices that we believe in this company. Because I am the CEO. I assume that role as the CEO. And truth is, I not only assume the role of the CEO, but I also assume the role of the president in some of our divisions. So as the CEO and president, there are certain day-to-day functions that I got to get into the grit and grind to do. But because I understand there is a difference between who I am personally and who I need to be in my business professionally, I am able to maintain that level of integrity and to hold myself to a high standard of accountability. So when I don't want to get up on a Wednesday because it's raining and the rain sounds so good, and it's just easy to just sleep in, guess what? My employees can't do that. The people who work for me can't do that. The people who I'm depending on to show up for me, if they're contractors or vendors, they can't do that. So why should I do it? I'm not going to do it. I got to get up. I got to clock in. I got a job to do. And that's my philosophy. This is how I operate. And that's how you got to operate. So rule number 11 is what? Separate yourself personally from your business professionally. So you should separate yourself financially. Okay, if your business makes money, if there's something that takes place as a business transaction, let that be your business's win. Stop taking the wins from your business and apply them to your personal life financially. Operationally, it should be the same way. Because see, I did that when I first started. When I first started as an entrepreneur, if I made $100, I spent $100. I came home and I made a quick $100. I was like, yeah, we done came up today. How much you made today? $100. I wasn't thinking about taxes. I wasn't thinking about operational expenses. I wasn't thinking about reserves. I wasn't thinking about saving and working capital. I wasn't thinking about reinvesting into a business because I didn't have no business because I wasn't operating as a business owner. I was operating as a hustler, a go-getter, a grinder, a shade tree worker who was just out there every day doing what I need to do to make a buck, acting like I was running a business. I wasn't running no doggone business. I just had a good idea, wasn't even on paper. It was just in my head. And we want to legitimize that. And how you do it is by implementing and executing rule number 11. Separate yourself personally from your business professionally. If you agree with that, I want you to give me some feedback, all right? If you don't agree with it, give me feedback. Separate yourself personally from your business professionally. That's rule number 11. Rule number 12. This is real good. This is real good here, y'all. Rule number 12. Treat your business like your baby. Boom, shakalaka, boom. Kaboom. Treat your business like your baby. And I ain't talking about like your baby, like your old man or your old lady. All right? I ain't talking about your boo thing. I'm talking about like a real baby. Like your boo. Hey, Gucci, Gucci, Bookie. Look at that boo-boo. That baby, she's so pretty. Yeah, think about it. When I see my grandbabies, hey, my grandbaby, Tay-Tay. She FaceTimed me last night. She was, hey, Papa. Well, you know, at first, they don't want to say nothing to you. And then all of a sudden, hey, baby, look at that pretty girl. And then she looking and she cheesing. And we just having a whole conversation on FaceTime. But guess what? Because she's a baby, I treat her like a baby. Which means if she's around me, guess what I have to do? I have to make sure she eats. I have to make sure she goes to the rest. I don't send Taylor to the restroom by herself. She been done tore something up in there. I'm not finna send my grandson to the store by himself. Go on, TJ, go to the store and get Papa some food. He gaga goo-gooing up Peachtree. It ain't gonna happen. You get what I'm saying? So you treat your business like your baby. Now, what if you have a business, what if you treated your business like your baby today? How many times does your baby need to eat? How many times does your baby need to eat? How many times, if you had a real baby, how many times is that baby gonna cry when he gotta eat? It's gonna cry when he or she gotta use the bathroom. He's gonna cry when he or she is being agitated or feeling ornery. They just feel like they don't wanna be bothered, right? So guess what? You've gotta treat your business like your baby. You gotta treat your business like your baby. Now, one of the ways you treat your business like your baby, I want you to catch this, all right, is you feed your business even when you don't eat. Wow. Feed your business even when you don't eat. I'm telling y'all, this has been, that's why I love my wife so much, especially because she's my business partner. Because my wife thinks just like me when it comes to that. And we didn't even like have to make that happen. My wife is just, she's like really, she's very thoughtful when it comes to preservation, when it comes to saving, when it comes to discretion, all the things that I love, that I want to see in my business, my wife loves. And one of the most important things that we both have been able to do, and I can guarantee you it's one of the top few things that has caused us to be where we are in our organization, and that is we treat our business, we treat our ministry that way. We treat our whole organization like a baby. That means for years, when we didn't eat, our organization was eating, especially our church. When we planted that church, we were financing that church with our business money. And we still do that to some extent because we give and we sow and we pour so much into it. But nevertheless, even in our business, when it came to us out there grinding and doing what we did to want to build a business, we always reinvesting back. So even today, me and my wife could be getting like tons of money personally. We could be making tons of money personally to take home, but we don't do that. You know why? Because we put all that money back in our business. We take enough to live, and we've done that for years. And when I tell you, I don't even think we understood how big of a splash financially, economically, that would make over the course of a 10, 15 year period, until just a few years ago when it kind of like hit us and we was like, oh, wow. Because you hear people always say, reinvest in your business, reinvest in your business. Don't get paid a whole lot. Well, these are wealthy people that we used to hear say that. This is information that we used to get from just the top tier people in society that run businesses. We're talking about from reading books and from just watching and learning and observing. And I would see how people would say, yeah, I just reinvested in my business for 10 years or for 15 years, for 20 years. And that's how I became a multimillionaire. That's how I built a $1 billion business. And when we looked up, we realized, oh my God, that worked so well. But how does that start? By you treating your business like your baby. That means every day you should wake up trying to figure out, how can I feed my baby for breakfast? How can I feed my baby a snack between breakfast and lunch? How can I feed my baby for lunch? How can I feed my baby a snack between lunch and dinner? How can I feed my baby dinner? How can I rock my baby to sleep? How can I wake my baby up the next day? Every day we trying to figure out new ways to take care of that baby, because this is our baby. Because if you even have people working with you or working for you, or people that you're trying to get to buy in to what you are doing in business or in ministry or with the organization, if they don't see you treating that thing like a baby, what makes you think they gonna treat it like a baby? They not gonna appreciate it if you're not appreciating it. And here's the truth. If it's your baby and somebody else got their baby, why they gonna drop their child to hold yours? It don't work like that. So I don't expect for nobody to carry my baby the way I'm gonna carry my baby. Because I know what my baby wants to feel. I know the position my baby wanna be in. I know the type of food my baby wanna eat. I know what keeps my baby going and growing. And you gotta treat your business the same way, all right? That's rule number 12. Treat your business like your baby. I'm giving y'all some fire right now. I'm giving it to you. You better catch it. Don't be around here at the end of this year looking goofy and be like, oh my God, what happened? I just think the devil just busy. No, it ain't the devil, dog. It ain't the devil, boo. It's a lack of execution of certain business and financial principles. That's what it is. I'm telling you, that's what it is. Rule number 13. Whew, I said this the other week and I had to come back. I mentioned something similar to this the other week. So I got to come back and drop this as rule number 13. Are you ready for this one? Mm-hmm. Sell your products like you would buy them. Man, oh my God. Sell your products like you would buy them. This is rule number 13. Sell your products like you would buy them. So think about all the products you're selling right now. Think about the services that you provide. I don't care if it's a product or a service. If it's something that you selling, truth is, it could be your nonprofit. It could be your ministry. If you're trying to sell something or serve somebody with something, are you willing to buy what you're selling at that price? That's the test. So for me, I sell consulting, I sell coaching, I sell education and training, I sell books, I sell leadership training and development, all these things that I sell. Here's my question. Am I willing to buy that if someone else was trying to sell that to me? If somebody else was selling consulting to me like I sell consulting, would I buy it? If somebody was selling me coaching like I am selling, would I buy it? If somebody had a blueprint game plan like I have on my online university, would I purchase it at that price? You got to be able to look at your products and service and don't just give yourself this free pass and say, oh yeah, I'll buy it. You trying to trick yourself into thinking, no. What my point is with bringing this 13th rule to the surface is that you need to over-deliver with your products and services to the extent you feel like, man, I think I might have gave them too much. I do that with everybody. I do that with the people that work with me, for me, people that we serve. I'm always going to give them more on the front end because I would rather come back 2 months from now and be like, oh yeah, I can't keep doing that. I just gave you too much. Or a year from now and be like, oh my God, I so over-delivered them. They went in on a whole nother level, but they're going to always tell everybody what he does for you is just way more than you'll ever expect anyway. So whatever he tells you he's going to do, expect for him to do 10 times more. In other words, I'm always selling my products and services like I would buy them. Because when I buy something, I want to buy everything that I need and more. And that's one thing I could say about Tony, our trustworthy family. She's definitely done that. She is one of the few people that I say that like publicly. She is one of our marketing consultant. We use their firm for everything. But she is one of the few people that I can honestly say has listened to me enough and has learned from me enough and has literally just absorbed everything that I teach and I preach and I live by. And she has literally adopted it as her philosophy. So it's like, it's nothing I throw. She's one of the few people, it's nothing I throw at her that she won't be like, bam, got it. Just like that. She over-delivers. And guess what? She's doing the same thing she's seen me do as an example because she sees it works. And guess what's happening? Her business is growing. I can't wait to hear her testimony this Saturday. She got a powerful testimony this Saturday. She's going to be one of the few people that give a testimony on how her business has literally just like kaboom since she started on this 1-year business coaching program. She had already seen it moving forward because she has been a part of our blueprint game plan. Mm-hmm. But man, when I tell you, wow, how it's just starting to really, really shift for her. She's positioned herself to be a 6-figure earner. But guess what? She's selling her products like she'll buy them. Can you say honestly, if somebody sold me the product I sell, I'll buy it just like that at that price? If you can't honestly say that, number one, you shouldn't be lying to yourself. Number one, you shouldn't be lying to yourself. And number two, if you're just not sure, you should have somebody who is a professional or who understands business to take a look at it, to give you, I ain't talking about your cuz. I ain't talking about somebody who's going to pander to your emotions. Because you always send it to somebody who you know going to be like, no, boo, that's nice. Yeah, you can. No, dog, no, you straight. Ain't nothing wrong with that. They lying to you because they lying to themselves anyway. You need to have a professional, somebody who understands business, who understands products and services, who understands markets, someone who is actually in it to look at your products and services and say, nah, you're not, what you selling is not enough. I would rather somebody tell me that. But guess what? I ain't waiting for somebody to tell me that. I'm always looking at my products and services saying, yeah, that ain't enough for me. I don't feel good enough about it. I want to look at my products and services and say, oh boy, whew, I need to go up. I love that feeling because I know I'm doing something right. I'm over delivering. So sell your products like you would buy them. And if you're not sure, don't just hang on the hinges of, oh, I know my products are priced right. Says who? You and no one else that can vet it? Especially if you haven't had people to buy it. If you ain't got people to buy it, because trust me, I've had people to complain about my prices. I've had people to buy my products or services and come back and be like, hey, can you give me my money back? I've had people to buy and not pay everything and never come back. So I've had all kind of people. So I done seen it all. And guess what? I've had people to purchase them, come back and be like, I want even more. And come back again and be like, I want even more. Because I'm over delivering. Because I'm always trying to figure out how can I sell the products in a way that I would buy them. Because if somebody's pitching me a consulting program, a coaching program, a training program for business and finance and entrepreneurship, or if they're pitching me some other type of leadership training or whatever it is that we do in our organization, I would want it to be a certain way. I would want it to be a certain price, but more importantly, I would want it to produce a certain value and produce certain results. So you got to look at how you are selling your products and services or packages or programs or whatever you're selling. And you got to make sure you can honestly say, you know what, if I was selling this t-shirt, if I was buying this t-shirt, I'll pay $20 for it. And don't just say that to justify your price. Say that because you know it's actually worth $20. And if you're not sure about that, please reach out to us. We'll be more than happy to give you an assessment, to take a look at your products and services, to look at your inventory, to look at your prices, to see what you're actually delivering in terms of value and service and products, and to see if it's something that you would actually buy. If not, we just need to repackage it, repurpose it, reprice it, reposition it, and then represent it back to the market. All right? Rule number 14. Rule number 14. Build a business model that consistently cash flows. Build a business model that consistently cash flows. Please listen to me. Don't take the things that I say, especially on this show for free 5 days a week, lightly. Don't take these things lightly. I know what I'm talking about. And trust me, a whole lot of stuff I wouldn't be talking about if I wasn't successful. I just wouldn't do it. You can go back, let's say it's 2021, you go back 4 years from now and you probably can't find no video of me talking like this. 4 years ago. You'll find some videos of me just talking, you know, like, hey, Prophet Ramon here, you know, yeah, hey, family, Prophet Ramon here. You know, the Bible says, you know, you'll hear me saying stuff like that, but very little content will you find 4 years back and beyond that, that you'll hear me talking about business and finance and financial freedom and debt freedom and wealth building. You know why? Because I didn't have it. It's just as simple as that. Because I was in debt. Because my credit was tore up. Because I didn't have money. Because I didn't have a business that was really cash flowing. Because I wasn't financial free. Because I wasn't out of debt. So I wasn't talking about none of that stuff. I was out there hustling and grinding. My wife and I was out there doing what we had to do, but I didn't have everything that I have now, so I wasn't talking about it. Because I wasn't going to be around here capping, trying to sell something that I personally wasn't even sold on because I wasn't living it. And some of you know people right now, they trying to sell, and I'm going to be honest with you, they trying to sell credit with bad credit. That's why you're not selling it. You cannot sell good credit services when you got bad credit.
So good.
Well, don't you got to start somewhere? No, you start with yourself.
Yeah, that's good.
You live it, succeed in it. Now it's organic for you to share it. You trying to sell debt service and you're over your head in debt. There's a internal moral compass inside of you that's telling you that this is conflicting you. There's a conflict of interest in you. You get what I'm saying? You can't sell this stuff. You can't sell it if you're not sold on it, meaning that you're not a success story of that product. So you got to work on you. You got to use it on you, and you got to give yourself time. Because when I decided 4 years ago that me and my wife, we was going to get out of debt, we was going to be financially free, we was going to build, at least within the next few years, a multi-million-dollar company so that we could be on our way to be billionaires at some point. When me and my wife prayed and sought the Lord and made that commitment and that decision, guess what we did? We walked away from everything that was a liability. We got rid of everything that was a liability. Everything. We made the biggest sacrifices of our lives. Yes, we did. We're talking about 4 years ago we did that. It was actually 3.5 years ago. Okay? But at that time, we was in debt. At that time, we wasn't financially free. At that time, we didn't have a pot to put it in or when to throw it out. We had money coming in, but it was going out just as quick as it came in. We were really on the verge of just like really trying to break through, but we was breaking down at the same time economically. But when we made that decision, it wasn't until we got on the other side that I knew at that point I could justify sitting in front of a camera telling people about being financially free, because I am. Telling people about being debt free, because I am. Telling people how to get that bag and that they could be 6 and 7 figure earners, because I am. Telling people that they can build a real organizational enterprise, because I have. All these things are real to me. Guess what? That means I can have a conviction about the business model that I am encouraging you to build. So you have to build a business model that consistently cash flows. It has to consistently cash flow. So that means if you have a business and your business is not consistently cash flowing, right? Then that means you've got to revisit not just yourself, but you got to revisit not just your products and services, but you have to revisit your business model. A lot of the people that my team and I have been coaching just within the last 6 weeks since we started this 1-year business coaching program, a lot of these individuals are already entrepreneurs. They're already business owners. A lot of them have learned through this first 6 weeks of this coaching program that they may have had good ideas, they just may have had the wrong business model. I'm showing them that your business model is important. And once we restructure and reorganize their business model, not only do they feel a sense of freedom, but many of them, just within the first 6 weeks of being in this program, many of them have already started to cash flow, to see money, cash flow into their business. So what was the problem? It wasn't really them as a person. It really wasn't their products and services. It was their business model. So your business model has to be built in a way that it's actually cash flowing. And there is a strategic way of you building a business model that can actually cash flow. It's kind of like if you got a hose, right? If you got a hose and you put the hose to the spigot, you screw it on there, you cut the water on, but then before the water comes out, you put a knot in it. It's really no problem with the hose. It's really no problem with you holding the hose. It's really no problem with the spigot and the water source. What's the problem? It's the model. It's the way you have structured or formed or organized the hose. It's not correct. So once you take the knot out of the hose and create a model that the water can flow, guess what happens? Water flows. And that's how you have to build your business, with a model that consistently cash flows. Because if your business is consistently cash flowing, even if it's not a whole lot of cash initially, if it is at least consistently cash flowing, you can almost guarantee that it's going to succeed. It's when the cash stops flowing. Because if the cash stops flowing, then you're not really in business. You're either taking money from your job to put in your business. You're either taking money from loans or banks to put in your business, but you're never really making real money because there's no consistent cash flow that's coming to and through your business. So that's rule number 14. Build a business model that consistently cash flows. You got to do that. Now, I have a whole lot of different strategies that I could talk to you about when it comes to building a business model that consistently cash flows, but I don't really have the time. So again, I'm always here. We're always available to help you, to provide a free consultation, to provide some simple assessments for you. Anything that we can do to help, we want to do that, all right? We want to serve you. We want to help you start, structure, and scale your businesses, your ministries, and income streams correctly. But let me just give you an example of what a business model that consistently cash flows looks like, or how it needs to be corrected. Let's say if you have a business, but you have products and services that are so low in price that your client base or your customer base or your clientele does not really have the money to financially sustain and support consistently your business, then that means, it doesn't necessarily mean your customer base or your client base is wrong. It just means you have to find a higher tier client base, which means you have to create a better product and a better service, which means you have to change your business model. Because if you got like a $15 product, right, or a $75 service, you might not be able to build a business model around a $15 product or a $75 service. You might need a $150 product and a $750 service to at least build your business model around, so that when you do have the $75 clients and the $15 customers, you make that money, but it's not the money that's keeping your business sustained and successful, if that makes sense. That means you got to change your business model, because you'll be around here killing it, trying to sell a $15 product. Well, if I sell 100 of them, you get what I'm saying? If I sell 100 $15 products, that means I'm going to make $1,500. But guess what? If you sell 100 $150 products, you'll make $15,000. The same effort you're going to have to take to sell $115 products is the same effort you're going to have to take to sell $100, $150 products. But if you can't change your business model to have a $150 product, you'll still be running around trying to make $1,500 in a month from 100 people rather than $15,000 a month from 100 people. And I guarantee if you're making $15,000 a month from 100 people that you done sold a $150 product with, your business is going to stay afloat. Your business might not make it if you selling $115 products a month, because that ain't number $1,500. You can't live off that. Your business can't live off that. Your business might need $2,000 a month to live, because you might need $2,000. And then if you got an employee or if you got contractors or other expenses, your business may need $7,000 just to survive, or $8,000 or $10,000 a month. We don't factor in those types of numbers because we don't even put our business models together the right way. So that's rule number 14. Build a business model that consistently cash flows. All right, here's the last one. I hope y'all really enjoyed these 5. We got a shout out on YouTube from Michelle Johnson, Stone Mountain, Georgia, and Dublin, California. She says, I have questions. Feel free to call in and ask your question, 678-922-1963, extension 1, or you could drop your question in the comments. You did have a question?
No.
Oh, someone's giving a shout out.
Great information.
Okay, somebody was just giving us a shout out saying great analogy, great information. So we have covered 11 through 14 of our 25 rules of business today. Number 11 was separate yourself personally from your business professionally. 12 was treat your business like your baby. 13 was sell your products like you would buy them. 14 it was build a business model that consistently cash flows.
Yes.
And here's number 15. The last one for today. Always be willing and ready to pivot. Woo. Always be willing and ready to pivot. Okay? When you pivot, that means you're here, right? Something happens where you get stuck and you can't move forward. You're being apprehended. You're being hindered. Something is stopping the flow, the progression, the production. So what do? You pivot, meaning you go from here to here. That's a pivot. So the 15th rule of business is always be willing and ready to pivot. We have a question on YouTube.
Ms. Althea Wiley.
Okay. Hey, Auntie.
She said, afternoon, how do you multitask or prioritize your business if you have more than one?
Number one, the question was, how do you multitask and prioritize your business if you have more than one? Well, the first layer of being able to effectively and efficiently multitask a business that has other divisions and subsidiaries is for you to structure it correctly. So, for example, I have Ramon Preston Enterprises, but because I have structured my organization correctly, Ramon Preston Enterprises sits at the top of the mountain. Under Ramon Preston Enterprises, you have Ramon Preston University, you have the RP Consulting Group, you have our Blueprint Game Plan program, you have our coaching program, you have our consulting services. All of these products, services, or business divisions and subsidiaries, they are under the umbrella of Ramon Preston Enterprises. So I am able to prioritize what products and services are going to require my personal hands-on activity on a daily basis, and what products and services actually require systems or processes or technology to take the load. So for example, Ramon Preston University is a operating division of my holding company that I don't necessarily have to show up in person every hour of every day to teach the content that is already built into my virtual platform. All right. I have personal assistants. I have other staff members that work on our team. I have other independent contractors and businesses that are a part of our ecosystem to help make my job more effective and more efficient. So multitasking and prioritizing begins with you getting to the top of that mountain, looking at what your core competencies are, meaning that what are the most important things that are making you money every day? Those should be at the top of the mountain. And when you put them at the top of the mountain, you can then better decide and decipher what of those core competencies need to be subbed out, what of those core competencies need to be systematized or put in processes so that you don't have to always operate them and run them as a solopreneur. This is how you structure your business, because what you're facing, or what many entrepreneurs face, is the lack of having the correct business system. That's what it comes down to. And you like, how is that? Well, because entrepreneurs are very comfortable doing everything themselves. They do everything themselves because they think they have to. They think they have to because they don't build a business system the right way that can free them up from doing the other things that they should not be doing, because their hands should be on the things that are, number one, keeping the business going and making money. So the things that I do every day are the things that I know without a shadow of a doubt gonna keep this business alive. So there are a lot of, for example, we have an apparel brand, right? Ramon Preston Brands. We have a whole store. We have a whole brand. We sell Next Level apparel. We sell hats and shirts. Now, what do I look like? I'm just giving you an example. What do I look like running $1 million company, and I'm sitting somewhere in a storefront running a boutique to sell Next Level hats and Next Level shirts? It makes no sense. So that means I will be using the wrong business model, meaning that I didn't build my organization and structure it the right way, because I have no business sitting in front of a counter saying, you're going to get 2 of those Next Level shirts? How many of those RP hats you want? Do you want 2 of those tumblers? No. Number one, I don't need a storefront. So what did I do? I built an online store for our apparel brand, so that it can be efficient, it can be automated. If you want to buy one of the shirts that you see me wearing, one of the hats, guess what you got to do? You got to go to my website. It'll be shipped to you. Even with my books. My books, do we have books in storage? Do we have warehouses full of books? Do we sit around and do we wrap books and put stamps on them and mail them out? You know why? Because I don't have time to be pushing $15 products if I'm going to keep a business successful. Yeah. That's not what has built a $1 million business, selling books. So my point is, you got to look at your core competencies. My core competencies is not me selling books for $20 or me selling t-shirts for $20. My core competencies are not me doing what my personal assistant does. My core competencies are not me doing what my wife does, what my son does, what our other team members do. Those are not my core competencies. So guess what? My core competencies is for me to be a consultant, for me to be a coach, for me to help people start, structure, and scale their companies and their businesses, which means what I do makes the biggest amount of money so I can stay at the top of that mountain. So this is how you prioritize the multitasking that you have to do, but it starts with how you build and structure your company.
So she says, well, how do you build a team from the ground?
How do you build a team?
Yeah, for your business. I guess she's talking about your business.
Well, it depends, but it really depends on it just depends on what type of business it is. But let me just give you an example. How do you build a team? Well, you have to put yourself in the position as the CEO. If that's the role you're playing, you got to know what your role is. Let me just put it that way. This is how you build a team. You got to know what your role is. Because some people don't want to be the active CEO. Some people just want to be, they want to just be a business owner, but they want to make passive income. When the truth is, that's not a business owner. A business owner is somebody who's running a business or owning a business, but the business owner has to decide, do I want to own a business as an investment, or do I want to be actively involved? So once you clarify what your role is and what your position is in your organization or in your business, then you look at what is the next line of work, the next best line of work that needs to be done to free you up from doing what you do best. So that may be an assistant. That may be a salesperson for your products and services. That may be a partner. If you're not in a financial position to hire someone, you may need to bring in a partner to do B while you do A. So there are different ways. I really can't pinpoint all the details of what you would do to build your team, because I got to look under the hood first. I would have to look under the hood to give you a very accurate pinpoint answer. But just off of the top of my dome, I would say the best way for you to build your business is just like how I built my business. It was me. It was my wife. My wife focused on the management side. I focused on the creative, innovative side. And then as we started banging out the business from a management perspective and from a creative, innovative perspective, then we decided, okay, we need to bring on an assistant. I need to bring on somebody who can help me create content, because a lot of my business was centered around the marketing of it and the branding of it and the training and the content that I was creating. And then you just start building out those team members. Now we're in a position where we're getting ready to start a whole sales division so that we can have salespeople. So it just depends. It just depends. I can't give you a solid answer on that. So the 15th rule of business is what? Always be willing and ready to pivot. How do you put yourself in a position to be willing and ready to pivot? And what do you mean by pivot? Listen to this. You might have to pivot to another industry. You might have to pivot to another market. What if you're in the right industry, but you're in the wrong market? You know, it's a lot of stuff that I was doing in South Florida that I tried to do, that I was failing in, that I'm succeeding in right now in Atlanta. So some of the things that I was doing was in the right industry. I was just in the wrong market. I was in the wrong market. So geographically, I had to move. You might be dealing with the wrong clientele. So you might have to pivot to another type of clientele. That means you might have to change your business model, right? What if you are in an industry that really doesn't reflect your core competencies? Like, I know a lot of people who are in certain industries and they think they're in that industry because they are specialists in that industry, when the truth is they're really educators. They should be educating people. I have a lot of our clients right now that are realizing you're not a service provider, you're a consultant. So you out here trying to provide a service and you ain't making no money, but you're really better at consulting people in that industry, not providing the service for that industry. But they had to pivot. You might have to pivot to a different vertical. You get what I'm saying? Like, for example, me, I was in ministry full time. I was in business full time. I ran both of them concurrent for years. But I got to a certain point in ministry that I realized I could make more of an impact in front of the pulpit than I could behind the pulpit. You just missed it. You heard that? I realized that I could make more of an impact in front of the pulpit than I could behind the pulpit. So I had to pivot. I had to sacrifice what a lot of people felt like, ooh, was not the best move, because, bruh, you at your prime. You the prophet. You keep a word in your belly. You can lay hands in a New York minute. But guess what? I knew I needed to pivot, because where I was dealing with a certain group in a congregation, now I'm dealing with movers and shakers and leaders and world changers and innovators who are going to impact way more people than I could in one single service or one single event. So I had to pivot. That's what you have to be willing and ready to do. I guarantee some of you are doing the right thing. You're just doing it in the wrong place. Some of you are doing the right thing. You're just doing it with the wrong people. Some of you doing the right thing. You're just doing it in the wrong industry. Some of you doing the right thing. You're just doing it in the wrong vertical. You just need to pivot into a different vertical, into a different vehicle, and it will actually work. It's kind of like, let me show you what a vertical or vehicle is. Let's say if you're an investor and you're around here investing in cryptocurrency. I'm not saying that's a bad investment, but what I am saying is maybe being an investor in real estate works better for you. So you're still investing, you're just investing in a different vertical or a different vehicle. I'm losing my money because I'm investing in the stock market. Well, investing is not the problem. Maybe it's the vehicle that you're using to invest. You need to find another vehicle. So you have to be willing and ready to pivot always. Those are 5 more of my 25 rules of business. I hope you enjoyed that. For those of you that need help, you need assistance, you need support, you need solutions when it comes to starting, structuring correctly, and scaling your business or ministry or your income streams or your wealth building dreams or all of the above. If you know you need help, support, assistance, solutions in starting and structuring and scaling those important areas of your life, business, ministry, income streams, wealth building dreams, financial freedom aspirations, I want you to reach out to me, because we have a 1-year business coaching program that we have extended. I should have closed it by now because we have already surpassed our initial goal. We set out 6 weeks ago, the beginning of April, when we launched our 1-year business coaching program, to hit a certain target, a certain number. And we've surpassed that target. We've surpassed that number. And we're still leaving this 1-year business coaching program open, because I truly believe that there are more of you who really need the help and the support and the solutions to start, structure, and scale what it is that you're doing. You may just be reluctant and apprehensive because you may have never made that type of sacrifice or commitment before on a professional level. But trust me when I say this, your creativity to grow, your creativity to change, your capacity to succeed is connected to your commitment to do some things that you've never done before. And so I want to challenge you, but I also want to encourage you to reach out to me today if you would like to know more about and or be a part of our 1-year business coaching program. Soon I'm going to close this opportunity and it's no longer going to be available, and we're going to revert back to our signature 90-day coaching program. It's going to be the same price. It's going to be the same solutions. It's going to be the same process we take all of our coaching clients through. But the only difference is going to be you're going to pay for 90 days the same price you would be paying right now today for a whole year. Because that's what we did with this 1-year business coaching program. We took our 90-day coaching program, extended it out for a year, meaning that we are giving you 4 90-day coaching programs for the price of one. And guess what? With this offer, we are extending the payments for 24 months. So you literally have 24 months to pay your coaching program off. So if you are interested, I want you to text the word coaching to 404 404-478-7213. 404-478-7213. Text the word coaching, or you can call. I'll be more than happy to give you more information on what our one-year business coaching program is about. And if you're just in it and you know this is your day to make that commitment, we will plug you in. We will send you a link to onboard you to our university platform. We will schedule your first one-on-one coaching session, and that first session is going to be the session that we take maybe an hour or two or maybe 3 to really put a blueprint or a design for your business together. We're going to figure out everything that you want to achieve in business, everything that you want to achieve financially, particularly within this 1 year. And once we figure those goals out that you want to achieve in that first one-on-one coaching session, we're going to put a game plan together. We're literally going to craft a game plan to decide what tools you need, what vehicles you need, what support you need, what strategies you need. And once we lock that in, we're going to give you action steps. And we're going to use this one-year business coaching program to provide for you 52 weeks of touch points. So literally every week throughout this 52-week one-year business coaching program, there is a touch point, whether it's a one-on-one coaching session, whether it's a coaching call, whether it's like this Saturday, a group coaching mastermind, whether it's a virtual training assignment, whether it's a book reading assignment, whether it's a Zoom coaching session. We have touch points every week to keep you moving forward, so that if at any point in this 1 year you hit a roadblock, you hit a blind spot, you hit a pothole, you run right into a brick wall, we're able to reset you, get you right back on track. And my goal, my team's goal, our company's goal is to make 6-figure earners within this 1 year. And we already got people who are on their way, well on their way. We got people who are already there, who are looking to go to multiple 6 figures. So this ain't no capping right here. This is the real deal. This is real professional business coaching that we're providing. Listen, I'm a business consultant. That's where my bread and butter is. My wife and I have built our lives and our organization on what we do best as business consultants, particularly in real estate, but generally in business as a whole. And so we're using our business consulting skills and strengths to coach you. So you're actually getting a consultant and a coach in one, even though we have 2 different divisions. We have a coaching division and a consulting division. But the good part is, if you got me as a coach, you actually got me as a consultant, and you saving a whole lot of money, because our consulting fees through our consulting firm are much, much more. So reach out to us. Let us know what we can do to help you. At the very least, you can go to RamonPreston.com. Take a look at all of our services, all of our programs. You may very well land or decide that, you know what, even before I get consulting or coaching, I want to take a ride on your Blueprint Game Plan. Our Blueprint Game Plan is the virtual version of what we do as consultants and coaches here at Ramon Preston Enterprises. So that will give you an opportunity to have access to all of the entrepreneurship, business, investment, financial literacy programs, the training. It will familiarize you with what our philosophy is about wealth building, and you will learn a lot about how to build a real legitimate business and become financially free. And if at any point, if you purchase our Blueprint Game Plan, or if you have purchased our Blueprint Game Plan, if at any point you choose to join our coaching program, we will deduct the price that you pay for the Blueprint off of your coaching program. But it's only for a limited time, because once we shift it, it's no longer going to be available. We have clients now that have paid just for our 90-day coaching program. So it's not like it doesn't work. We're just extending it to be a blessing to as many people as we can, and to make it affordable and feasible to you. So please reach out to us. Let us know what we can do to help. And we'll be back tomorrow with 5 more of the 25 rules of business. That will be rule 16 through Rule 20. So we love you. We're praying for you. See you tomorrow.